Good afternoon, abnormals, and welcome back to the Ministry of Abnormality Twitch live broadcast. Not Twitch, YouTube. YouTube live broadcast. That is off to a horrible start. Good afternoon, whatever. Here I am. It's time for art. Welcome, whatever. It is Tuesday. Man, that feels weird to say. Tuesday, January 31st, if I'm not mistaken, of 2023. Welcome back to my show. I have something on my shirt. Wait, is this part of the shirt? I think it's part of the shirt. Okay. Welcome, everybody. I hope you had a nice weekend. Today, we are here. Wait, let me see what we got here. Okay, wow, this delay on this thing is so delayed. Okay, but whatever. What was I saying? Okay, anyway, welcome back to my show. Today we're going to be working on an image for Mongoose Publishing's Traveler RPG. I'm going to open it up and we're just going to get to work while the chat room kind of gets busy. So here we go. There we go. Let me modify my webcam setup. Move this to another screen right here. And we'll make this background removal. There we go. Much better. For now. Okay, hello Mo, how are you? How was your weekend? Tell us. What have you been up to this weekend? Well, what I am drawing, and hello, Sabrina, how are you, beautiful? What I am drawing is I'm drawing this creature, the hexapod. And the hexapod is bursting through a wall. So, there is that. So, and we got like all the rubble here. So, it is bursting through a wall, technically. You know, just maybe not the wall you wanted it to be, I guess. So, you had a fine weekend. Okay. What'd everybody do this weekend? Jurassic Park raptor vibes. Well, I'm glad Kat isn't here to hear that. She would not be happy. She would not be happy with Jurassic Park raptor vibes. See how much she hates Jurassic Park. There's a gif of some anime with a shark bursting through a door like that says something like, "Honey, I'm home." No idea what that would be. So what did everybody do this weekend? Hello, Pew. How are you, beautiful? How's your afternoon going? What did we do on the weekend? Well, okay, I worked. I worked. But I also we went for a motorcycle ride. We went for like our first official motorcycle ride, which was great, but at the same time, uh, not 100%. Um, Wi-Fi is not working on your laptop. It never connected. Did it never connect to the network? No. Hmm. Oh, no, no, no. That's not okay. You need, you need your internet. Wait, do I still have my internet? Are we still good? We still here? Did I lose my internet as well? So we hope Dan applied to some jobs. How's the market for that work, for veterinarian work? Um, okay. Give me a sec. What about my cell phone? Is my cell phone still connected? Okay, I'm gonna see if my cell phone is still connected to the internet. What, you connected? Hey, sorry, it gets complicated if he wants to move to another state. Well, yeah, I mean, didn't you just move? Oh, okay, great, great, great. I'm glad you're finally. Yeah, didn't you just move to another state? Also, I mean, not just that there's legal tests he has to pass in each state, but didn't you just move there? Okay, so so I worked most of the weekend. I was making several disgusting images that I'm sure are gonna disturb Sabrina. But we made this one, and this one, and this one. These are the images we made. So we made this one for the golems. I like this one. Uh, yeah, we made this one, and we made this one, which I really like. Um, I like this one a lot. And this one. So, so yeah. And today we're working on this one. Oh. So wait, did you two like agree to have like poopy bosses at the same time? because it's like okay, like hey, where's the light coming from in this image? Um, where's the light coming from in this image? I did make a 3D layout of it. Let's see. The light in this image is coming from the upper left. Okay. Very, very soft light, though. I'm very sorry to hear that, Sabrina. But, yes. 2023. It's going to be an awesome year. Oh, okay. So during the weekend, I worked on those images. Um, Sakis, hello. We went to a work Christmas party, and his boss was very drunk. She pulled me into a side bear hug, and said, "I'm very hard on Dan. So when he comes home and complains, just know I'm doing it to make him better." Oh, wow. That's I don't normally use the word toxic, but I'm gonna go with toxic. I'm not normally much a fan of that word, but I'm gonna go with that one. So this weekend we decided to go for our first bike ride, right? But we decided to keep it short, because we're kind of new on the whole idea of going out for long trips on the motorcycle. So we went to the countryside and we started our ride and it was awesome. But we went out on Saturday afternoon, right? So it was like Saturday. It was okay. No. So the first thing we did, the first thing we did is that before going out, we went to get the intercoms from the old helmets installed on the new helmets because we definitely didn't want to go on any trips without helmet intercoms because otherwise it's just riding in silence, right? Because you're on a motorcycle, communication is not going to be that easy. So you kind of want to have those intercoms installed. And so our old helmets, we had like these not the best quality intercoms installed, but good enough. And when we bought the new helmets, the like some really, really good intercoms for the new helmets would be insanely expensive. And we already spent a bunch of money on armored jackets, riding boots, gloves, new helmets, and the motorcycle. So we didn't want to like continue spending money at that moment. And there's supposed to be like a motorcycle fair where we can get those intercoms cheaper. But that's in May. So the option was basically riding in silence until May, and we just weren't very keen on the idea of riding without being able to talk to each other. Hey, Nat Class, how are you? How was your weekend? So we went to a place to get the old intercoms moved from our old helmets to the new intercoms. And the idea was that we were going to go there, and as soon as that was done, we'd go for like a ride in the countryside. But as soon as we got those installed, what we discovered is that the intercoms didn't have any charge left, right? Like we had to charge them. So our idea was to leave like around 11 or something like that. But Um, we ended up coming back home, ordering lunch, and lunch took forever to get here. So when we finally ended up going for a ride, it was like three, past three. So we go, and at first the ride is amazing. We're having a lot of fun, talking on the intercom, taking the roads, all that kind of stuff. A little bit more cars than I would like, but you know, whatever. And then we get to the actual countryside, which, for most of you doesn't mean anything, but for Mao, that would be around the airport. And the traffic jam is just a sea of cars. Like, as far as the eye can see, a sea of cars. And so we agree, like, yeah, we don't want to ride like this. So we rode back. We're like, yeah, maybe it was the hour, Saturday afternoon, whatever. Turns out it's not. It's just that there's a like the trucker industry is on strike. So for the foreseeable future, that's just the way traffic is gonna be. Um, so yeah, that was kind of like the part of the ride that wasn't amazing. But other than that, it was a lot of fun. Beautiful day. Um, yeah. So, Nat class, your weekend. What was your weekend? I started a lot of little house projects and played too much Power Wash Simulator. I remember you were talking about that last time. About Power Wash Simulator. Today, I learned that a new game that came out called Hi-Fi Something is actually on Xbox Game Pass. I just remembered, so I want to check it out. Doing a graphic novel book club this week, so I also finished the books by Tilly Walden that we're reading. Hi-Fi Rush, yes, it's on Game Pass. I've heard it's amazing. Let's put it on the list. So many games on the list. I've been helping my brother and his girlfriend pack things for the moving day, which is tomorrow. After that, I will be officially an independent Mal living on my own. You know what that means, Mal? That means pooping with the door open and walking around naked. Which really, I mean, that's what living on your own is all about. Cell phone is not on silent. Pooping with the door open is still unnerving when you're home alone. You don't like it? So, oh, Mao, by the way, don't cook naked. That's not a good idea. Don't cook naked. I know it's tempting. Don't cook naked. Like you gotta have some limits to the nakedness. Try not to cook naked. That's not a good idea. Uh Wait, so when you're home alone, Sabrina, you close the door to poop? What? Closing the door to poop when you're alone is like is like having the ability to fly but choosing to walk. Like like why? What why would you poop with the door closed if you could poop with it open? Yeah, it's like, here, I have this gift from the gods of flight and ultimate freedom, but I'm gonna walk. I'm gonna, yeah, that's what it's like. That's what it's like. That's I don't get it. It's ultimate power. It's too much open space. I need to be confined. No, the only thing I don't do a lot of when I'm alone is be naked. Um, Simply because it gets old fast, right? And also because if it's like uh, um if it's just about going from the room to here or doing that, like I do that anyway with with few here. So so the whole idea of just being naked when I'm alone, I don't really do that much because it gets old pretty fast. I'm not like. But wait. You okay? But by the way, I don't know what you guys are like in your relationships, but in our relationship in this house, we close the bathroom door. We are not the kind of couple that goes to the bathroom with the other person there or goes to the bathroom open. Like we have boundaries, and I think that's one of the boundaries that we have. We're not like one of those couples that goes to the bathroom together or anything like that. I can't. Like no. And I'm sorry if any of you are like that with your significant other, but if you are weird and disgusting and wrong. Um, uh, uh, and I wish I could say I respect our differences, but I don't. I don't respect our differences. I think you are weird and you are disgusting and you are wrong. Uh, so like we are not that kind of couple, right? Like we are not one of those couples that goes to the bathroom together. And I'm glad to see that I have civilized people in in my community. Um, I do have to admit that I have a no food in bed rule. I am I don't know, maybe it's because of how I was raised, but I wasn't really allowed to take food into my bedroom. So, when I was a kid. So I feel very uncomfortable um with food on the bed. But okay, so I don't see the temptation to eat in bed if you don't have a TV in the bedroom. We hardly ever in bed except for the usual uses. Uh, yeah, I like our bed is for the usual uses, and we don't have a TV in our bedroom either. It's I don't like it. I don't like it. Again, maybe it has a lot to do with how I was raised. I was never allowed to have a TV in my bedroom growing up. So so maybe it has a little bit to do with that. The fact that I wasn't allowed to have a TV in my bedroom growing up. So I've never been into the idea of a TV in the bedroom because I never got to have one. So, uh, beds are for sleeping, reading, and sex. That's it. And cats. But that reminds me what I was going to say about all you people that close your doors when you poop. Don't you guys have cats? I mean, I know you guys have cats. So, for example, I close my door to poop when I'm not alone here, right? Because I don't want Pew watching me do any of those things. But whenever I close my door in the bathroom, Golem loses his shit. Like whenever I close the door to the bathroom, Golem just starts banging on the door, trying to get his paws underneath the door, scraping at it. He just wants to rescue me from the evils of the bathroom so much. Um, and that when I'm alone, I just have to leave it open. Like Golem, uh, uh he always wants to, and sometimes Yuki. Regine doesn't do that, but the TV goes in the TV room. But I do need some advice on things to put in my new office because I'll have a separate bedroom, and my old bedroom will be the office. And then I started dating our first. I'll get to that in a second, Mal. Actually, we're planning to reorganize the house this weekend. Then I started dating. Our first place was a studio apartment, so the bedroom was a living room. I will never ever fall asleep to Family Guy ever again. I close my door most of the way, otherwise Stevie will scratch the door. Cinder loses her shit too. Bathroom door has so much paint missing from the bottom of it. I have to stand with the door open before I close it and invite her. Yeah, no, Golem, like he just loses his shit if you go into the bathroom door, into the bathroom, sorry, and close it. Um, but if you let him in and close the door, just like a cat, immediately he wants out. Like he immediately wants out. Um, so okay, Mal, I have a lot of experience with having one room as the office and one room as the bedroom. As for example, here I am in my office, which is a bedroom, and there's the other bedroom, which is the bedroom. So, uh, what to do with the office that is now a room? Okay, so let me see how much I can show you of my office. Let me save. Put on. Okay, I'm gonna deactivate this. Okay. So let's see how much I can show you. Okay, wait. Let me make sure that the NVIDIA auto frame is on. There we go. Okay. So, as you can see, here we are in the office. Now, first of all, my desk is huge, like absurdly big. So, as you can see here, this is my desk. And my desk is just so big. But basically, okay, so here are my 4 screens. And this is like half the space here. Now, one of the things you want to do with your office is, there we have, for this apartment, I kind of reduced the number of figures and stuff to these 2 shelves. So this is like where all my figures are. And it's just these 2 shelves of figures, right? And I got down there, there's Yoko, and there's I wonder if it's okay to tell you guys that I've been working. No, let's leave that. And back there I have Bob. So yeah, so there's that. So over here I have the drawing table and the board. There's actually a lot of Mao art on that board. And over there is a whiteboard. This is actually something I recommend a lot for offices. I got this at Home Center. And it's awesome because it has wheels on it, right? So this has a bunch of supplies and stuff. I recommend this a lot for the office because it's, it's great. It rolls around. So I can, easily put it over there. And these are also great. I think I also got this at Home Center. And I got a bunch of supplies in there and in there and stuff like that, right? So those are great. And of course, a whiteboard. I always need a whiteboard. That's awesome. So that's kind of what I did with my office. Wait. Okay, wait. Let's reactivate. Okay, we can do that, and we do that. We go back to the art broadcast. Oh, what? The whiteboard? Nat class? If you mean the whiteboard, absolutely. Whiteboards are just the best. Not just, like I use mine for planning. So my whiteboard has, well, you saw it right there. Right now, my whiteboard has all the things that I'm working on. And I write them down. I write down everything that, oh, the rolly cart. Oh, okay. Yeah, because the whiteboard is a great way to keep track of everything I have to do. It even helps me with finances, because not only do I write down everything that I have to do, but I also write down how much I'm getting paid for each one of those things. So it really helps me plan out and all that kind of stuff, and it helps me not forget things. The rolly cart is just, yeah, awesome. Like, yeah, I love it. The new apartment, but I mean, I don't know if it counts as new anymore. We've been here for a couple of months already. But one of the things that the new apartment did do, with how much smaller it is than the older apartment, is that it really kind of made us rethink the way we use space. And we are much more space conscious now. What are those rolly cart thingies called in Spanish? Hugh's the one that helped me. Hugh's the one that helped me buy that. She's the one that remembers the name. Right now she's on a phone call, but we'll ask her as soon as she gets back, or if not, you can just ask me through WhatsApp. Because we did get it from Home Center, Mom. So I can tell you what it's called, and you can get it from there. Okay, so other stuff that I would recommend with your office room. Give me a second. Sorry, there was some noise outside. Wait, give me a second. I just want to make sure that noise is not my computer. Oh, okay, that's just the neighbors doing stuff. Okay, so oh, I was actually gonna go with that one, Mao. Your books, not just your toys, your action figures, and your collectibles and stuff like that, but also your books and all that kind of stuff. So one of the things that you can really, really do with the office room is make sure that everything that is work related. I don't know if you guys are getting that noise, but wow, my neighbors are really kind of drilling or whatever. Uh, so one of the things I like to do with the office area is that I like to make sure that anything that is work related is 100% exclusively in the office. And so what I try to do is I try to make sure that the bedroom is 100% free of anything that has to do with work. So yeah, nothing that is work goes into the bedroom. The bedroom becomes. Oh, you know why you can't hear the noise? Because I'm using NVIDIA Broadcast. So NVIDIA Broadcast actually filters out the noise. So that's actually pretty cool, pretty useful. Wait, what? What happened here? Give me a sec. Give me a sec. I need to see something here with my pen. Are you using the broken pen? Yes, I am using the broken pen. What? Huh. Okay, wait. Sorry, I'm gonna replace a little piece of my pen here. Oh, I see. Okay, moving on. Yeah, so that separation is actually very, very important to have. Oh, I have to buy a new pen. I mean, for now it's working, but I'm gonna have to buy a new pen. Okay. Anyway, um, uh, and honestly, I mean that's pretty much it. I mean, don't overdo it. I mean, if you're anything like me, uh, I spend most of my time in the office. Um, so I try to make my office as comfortable as possible for me. Um, Now, the other one you might want to try, but this is like a little bit. Okay, let's get the elephant in the room out of the way. Um, I was having a conversation with Pew a couple of days ago, and we were talking about, like the way we work and the way we do stuff and all that kind of stuff. And at a certain point in the conversation, she just turned to me, not like in an accusatory manner or anything like that, but she just turned to me and said, like, dude, you're a workaholic. I mean, not like accusing me or anything like that, but just like very matter of fact. Like, I mean, like, we you're a workaholic. Like we both know this. We both know that you're a workaholic, and yeah, she is right. Like, I mean, I am a workaholic. Uh, so what I try to do with my office is that since my office is the area that I spend most of my time in, and by a very, very, very significant margin, like we're not talking about that. Um, I spend some time in the other rooms and and just a lot of time in the office. Like, no, I only go into my bedroom to sleep. I do not go into the bedroom for any other reason other than to sleep. Um, so if you are anything like me, here's a pretty extreme house organization thing for those of us. For those, I mean, I no longer live alone. But if you live alone, here's one that you've seen me do, and you've actually visited in my house when this was the situation. And it's that if you live alone, and like me, you spend like almost all of your time in the office, I made the living room into my office. And um and the reason that worked for me back then is because it's where I spend most of my time, and it's the biggest area of the house. So, and you remember when I used to have my living room in my living room office, because you visited me at that house. Um, it is a solution that not only worked, it's a solution that we're going to do again next weekend. Um, like both me and Pew, we're gonna put both our offices together again in the living room, like we had it in the other apartment. Uh, but that is one I recommend, especially if you don't use the living room, because that was like when I put my living room in the office. Um, I just kind of came to the conclusion that I don't use the living room. I wasn't using it for anything. Uh, like my everything I did was around the computer, my work, my entertainment, everything. So I figured, why not put it in the living room? And if you remember, I had not only my computer in and my workstation in the living room, uh, that I even had the sofa there, because if I wanted to watch videos or anything like that, that's also where I would do that, and I would do all my gaming there. Um, well, if you want my opinion, Nat Class, without knowing your house, or at least not with not knowing your house with you being aware of it, um, I would say that like my opinion on somebody that's already done the whole make the biggest area of the house into the office is, how much do you use the bedroom, right? Like, if you spend a lot of time in the bedroom, then leave it with the as the biggest room. But if you don't spend that much time in the bedroom, then I think the idea of making it the office uh, would work great. Uh, you know, so one of the things that I'm gonna do this week before the weekend, and we actually we're gonna. Our apartment has three bedrooms, three tiny bedrooms, and one living room that I wouldn't call it big, but I mean it's bigger than the bedrooms. Um, so the thing I'm gonna do this week is I'm actually gonna in 3D make a very quick, very simple, nothing detailed model of the living room and the bedrooms. And the idea is that I'm gonna take measurements of all this furniture and all that kind of stuff, and I'm gonna lay it. I'm gonna take the very and again, like it's not like I'm gonna 3D model my living, right? Like, no, this is just I'm gonna make a very very basic sort of a cube that is the size of the living room, and make other cubes, other boxes that are the size of the different things that we're going to be moving around, and I'm going to lay them out in 3D to see how they fit into that area. And if any of you are listening to this and thinking, "Well, I don't handle 3D, so how would I do that?" Google SketchUp is actually made for that. I mean, not exactly for laying out your your furniture in your living room, but Google SketchUp is actually very very easy to use. It's free. I think you can even use it on the browser, if I'm not mistaken. You don't even have to install it, or you can just do it on paper. Yeah. So yeah, Mao, that's another idea I would give you for your office. Like, what if you made your living room into your office? Depending on how much you use your living room. But on the other hand, if you use your living room a lot, well then don't do that. Um Also, Mao, are you wait, you don't have a cat, right? That your parents are the ones that have the cat, right? No pets. Oh, okay, okay. No, no, no. Just because if you have cats, there's a lot of stuff that you can do with the extra space. Like for example, your bedroom, you can like do a lot with those areas for the pets. Um or like, oh, dude, I've had cats for 18 years and I still can't keep a plant alive. Like it's not. I I think cats are a much bigger responsibility, but honestly, I think it's easier to keep a cat alive than it is to keep a plant alive, and I will die on that hill. Hey, Adele, I haven't seen you in ages. How have you been? But no, seriously, dude. I think it's easier to keep a cat alive than it is to keep a plant. Like if it's a matter of what I think I would be more successful at, I honestly think like if you told me, "Hey, I'm going on a trip. Can you take care of my cat?" I can do that. If you told me, "I'm going on a trip. Can you take care of my plant?" Dude, that plant is not making it. That plant is not making it. That plant is dead. You know why? You know why I think it is? It could be what Nat Class says. But I think my theory is that, you see, cats want to live. Cats want to live. I honestly don't think plants want to. I think plants want to die. When you have a plant, it is a battle to figure out tricks to keep that plant from dying. I honestly think that plants want to die, and you're fighting against that. A cat wants to live. Like, you just have to help it out. You just have to, like, a cat wants to eat. Yes, like a cat wants to eat. You just have to give it the food. And it will eat. It gets hungry and it eats. A cat wants to be in the sun, it goes and stays in the sun. It wants to be out of the sun, it stays out of the sun. It wants water, it takes water. It needs to pee, it goes to pee. All you have to do is facilitate these things, right? Give them a place to poop and pee. Leave food available for them to eat. Leave water for them to drink. Plants want to die. And what we do with plants is it's a matter of not letting them do what they seem to be inclined to do. Like, they want to do this thing, and our job becomes, I'm not going to let you do what you seem to want to do. That's my problem with plants. It's like, okay, this is my plant. You have to water it once every third day, 3/4 of a cup. But you can't do it at this determined hour of the day, because otherwise the sun will hit the water and the plant will roast. But you can't do it at this other hour of the day, because it will not optimize the plant's intake of water. If you give it a little bit more water than you should give it, the plant dies. If you give it a little bit less water than you should, the plant dies. If you move it to an area that the plant should not be in, the plant dies. The plant needs sun, but it can't be too much sun. It has to be only a certain amount of sun, and it can't be the afternoon sun. No, that sun is not good. It has to be the morning sun, and it can't be more than 1 hour. It has to be only 1 hour and 3 minutes. If you go 1 hour and 4 minutes, the plant roasts and dies. Oh, and by the way, and this was one that was like, really, then what the fuck are we doing here? There was one plant that we have here. I don't even remember which one it is. Pew has a plant here, and it died. And I'm like, Pew, the plant died. And yeah, the plant dies. Because apparently, if you let that plant get flowers, it dies. So if you want the plant to not die, you can't let it have flowers. It's like, what? like what? It's just, and that's the thing. Like, if I forget to feed my cats, they will also die, but they will also look for food, and they will go and they will claw at my face until I feed them. But it's like, yeah, no, like, nobody's gonna convince me of anything different. Plants want to die, and what we do is we fight against what they seem to be naturally inclined to do. That's, and everything is so ultimate with plants, right? Like a cat will get sick and then it'll go be angry at you, or go pee on your pillow or something if you did something it didn't want. Or it will get sick, or it will run away, or it will... cats will do a bunch of stuff when you make mistakes. With plants, every single consequence is it dies. Like just... There's no... Like, every single mistake you make with a plant results in its death. I will take care of your cat. I will take care of your dog. If you make me take care of your bird, I'll set it free, but hey, whatever. But I will not take care of somebody's plant. And if they leave me taking care of the plant and it dies, and then they're angry at me, I can easily say, dude, it was gonna happen. The plant was gonna die. It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. Ah, but you see, that's the other thing. Mal. An office with plants. You see, that's the thing. Like, an office with plants is lovely. Oh, Adele, sorry, I didn't answer your question. Right now, I am streaming exclusively on YouTube, because my plan for this year is to grow on YouTube. So I am streaming exclusively on YouTube for the time being. So I can't really say if it's a permanent change yet, because I need to start making the YouTube videos to see if this is working out. So I can have plastic plants, right? I've actually... Pew has shown me some setups with plastic plants that look nice. I think with plastic plants, there is a very big chance that it's going to look tacky. But I'm sure it's possible to have a good setup with plastic plants. I mean, I suppose it's not impossible. I don't know. Just don't have birds. Don't have birds. And if anybody in the chat room has birds, well, I'm sorry, but I think it's sad to have birds. Not sad as in it makes you a sad person. I just think having... Okay, no. Wait, let me fix that. Don't have birds in a cage. Right? If you're gonna have birds, then it has to be birds that can, you know, fly around and shit. Oh, Mal, and if you decide to have a teacup pig, keep in mind that they grow, right? So if you have a teacup pig, you know, just keep in mind that teacup pigs grow up to be fully sized pig. My problem with birds is that, as far as I understand, birds are like some of the meanest creatures in nature. Well, it seems to me, Mo, that Anna wants to live on a farm. I mean, that seems to be what Anna wants. Anna wants to live on a farm. I want a rabbit, not a bunny, not a tiny little thing, a giant fluffy. I added the fluffy. I don't know if you want it to be fluffy, but I just added fluffy to that. It just made sense. How large can rabbits get? I don't know, man. I've seen some pretty large rabbits. My my problem with rabbits, although I don't know like how it goes for all sizes of rabbits, but my problem with rabbits is that, as far as I have heard or whatever, I think they don't last very long. Now, I know all pets eventually have to, let's say, pass. Um, but I it's kind of the same reason I would never have something like a Great Dane. Like, I've, if I understand correctly, a Great Dane doesn't even make it commonly to 5 years of age, and it's like 5 years. 5 years, I'm just getting to know the dog. I mean, other than the fact that I don't think that a person that lives in an apartment should have a Great Dane. But that's not really the point here, right? My point is that 5 years is just not enough to get to know my pet. And whenever I see somebody on the street with a Great Dane, it always makes me feel like super bad. I just, whenever I see a Great Dane, I'm always like, in just a couple of years, that dog is going to be gone. And I know it's a very morbid kind of thought to have. Yeah, Scooby Doo is a Great Dane. My theory is that there have been many different dogs, and they named them all Scooby, like like Roach in The Witcher. You know that it's not just one horse, but every single time the Witcher gets a horse, he names it Roach. That's my theory. That's what's happening with Scooby Doo. It's just the same. It's just different dogs, and every single time they name it Scooby Doo. That's exactly what I want. Why I want a robot? Ah, you just want to have sex with it. And hey, I'm not judging you because you want a sex bot. I mean, if you want a sex bot, you go. You chase after that sex bot dream, Mo. But I mean, no judgment, no judgment. Okay, maybe a little bit of judgment. Uh, so this weekend, and the reason I'm remembering this is because this weekend. So okay, this weekend we watched. I don't really know the rules on that, Mo. I think maybe you should discuss that with Anna. like, like I don't know. Why do I mean later tonight when you chat with Anna, ask her how she feels about you having a sex bot and let us know how that goes. I guess that could be an interesting conversation to have. Let us know how Anna reacts to you having a sex bot. Oh! You know what you do, Mal? Trust me. I totally get women. Um, when you ask Anna if you can have a sex bot, and she starts freaking out a little bit, tell her you're gonna name the sex bot Anna in her honor. I'm sure that'll make it okay. Trust me, I totally get women. Totally get women. Trust me on this. It will totally make it okay with her. She'll love the idea. As a matter of fact, she'll feel honored. So anyway, this weekend, uh, Pew and me, we watched. Um, so there's a bunch of Asian sci-fi movies on Netflix, right? And Asian sci-fi movies are really, I think the word I'm gonna go with here is weird. I think weird is the word I want to go with. Asian sci-fi movies are really weird. And one of the reasons they're so weird is one of the reasons I love them. And it's because Asian sci-fi movies don't really seem to have any filter in regards to what they will or will not do in terms of special effects and stuff like that. They will just go full into that shit. No problem at all. They don't care if it's going to look crappy. They don't care if it's going to be over the top. They don't care if it's going to be ridiculous. They will just go full into it. And I love them for it because Asian sci fi movies will do just so much stuff that Western sci-fi movies, they just won't go there. But Asian sci-fi movies will, and I love them for it. But the result is that these movies end up being a bunch of interesting concepts placed in the worst movie you can imagine. Like, it's a bunch of concepts that you go like, oh wow, this concept is very interesting, and this movie is absolute garbage. But I love the concept. So, ooh, Mao. Somebody just reminded me. How about a Tamagotchi? You could have a Tamagotchi. Oh, those, I think those are programmed to die as well. So, I mean, it's not guaranteed with the Tamagotchi, but still, you could have a Tamagotchi. But anyway, so, for example, there's this one movie on Netflix. It's Chinese, and it's called The Wandering Earth. And it's about that they decide that in order to save Earth from the growing sun, if I'm not mistaken, like I think it's been a while since I saw The Wandering Earth. So if I'm not mistaken, in order to save the Earth from the expanding sun, they build a bunch of thrusters, giant thrusters, like city-sized thrusters, onto one side of the planet and decide to move the Earth like out of its orbit. And it's like I said, these movies are awesome, but a great deal of why they are awesome is because Asian sci-fi movies just do not know when to stop. They do not know when to stop. So we started watching this one movie. Oh, do you remember what it was called, Pew? It was called like Future. Was it Future Warriors? Future. Like they have like it's like the most weirdly generic name. No. But the other one, the one before Jung-gi, because I'm gonna mention Jung-gi in a minute. This one was like Future Warriors, like the most generic thing, like the kind of name that you would expect to find on an off-brand, like on a knockoff toy of like the Avengers, and you find like a weird, deformed plastic toy that vaguely looks like Iron Man, but instead of saying Iron Man, it says like Future Warrior or something like that. Like that was the name of the movie. And they start introducing the movie, and when they start introducing the movie, they do not know when to stop. So it's like, okay, in the future. So first they start like Warriors of Future. Thank you, Warriors of Future. Even worse, like even worse. It's like, it sounds even more like a knockoff toy. So it's like in the future. And so first they start with like overpopulation, and then it's climate change. And I'm like, oh, okay. It's like a, sort of climate change future movie. I'm into this. But no, then it's like oppressive government. I'm like, okay, we're piling on here. And then it's like, oh, and AI, like AI robots took over, and then there was a war with the AI robots, and you're just watching, this is like the introduction. You're like, okay, wait, climate change, oppressive governments, battles with AI robots, and then an alien invades the Earth, but the alien is a plant. And so the plant grows with rain, which, I mean, okay. But it just so happens that the planet is too polluted and the alien plant is cleaning the air, but it wants to kill everybody. So, in the climate change oppressive government war against AI robots future, an alien plant invades the Earth and it grows every time it rains, but it's purifying the air, but it wants to kill us all. And, and at this point, I'm just watching this and I'm like, pick one. Pick one. Like you can't have all these things. In the climate change, polluted air, oppressive government, AI robot war, future invaded by plant that wants to clean the air but eat us all, you have to pick one of these things. You can't be all the things movie, and that's what I love about Asian sci-fi movies. And it's that they have no, like, they do not hold back. It's like, no, we're doing all of these things. We're doing all of the future things. Reminding me of Nausicaa? No. It's not like that at all, because this is like, because it's also like everybody is poor, but somehow technology and soldiers and corrupt policemen, and so there's a mission that the military dudes are going to go and find the alien plant's pistille. I don't know if that's how you say it in English though. And they're going to inject it with a generic material that's going to leave the plant but take away its desire to kill us all. So the plant will stay there purifying the air, but it will no longer want to kill us. So military dudes have to go to the plant, find its pistille, but this is the part of the city that the plant has invaded. So they have to fly over there and find the pistille and shoot it with the genetic stuff to make it no longer want to kill us. But the oppressive government military built, because this is another thing that we're going to stack on top of this incredible sci-fi smorgasbord, and it's that the oppressive military government has built domes over the cities to protect us from the air pollution. So the corrupt military government doesn't want the other people to fix the plant problem, because if they fix the plant problem and the plant no longer wants to kill us but does purify the air, then they are going to lose all the money that they invested in building the giant city domes. By the way, I'm not exaggerating. This is the movie. So, when the group of military men get together with the scientists and they go to the commander, who, by the way, squints for the entire movie. And this is not like a racist thing. I'm not saying that like he was squinting because he was Asian. No, like Asian people can squint. And this is a guy that is squinting the entire movie, and I don't know why. So, the entire movie, this guy looks like he's about to sneeze. I don't know why. So, this guy, and if you don't believe me, just watch the damn thing. It's on Netflix. So, Sneezy Army Commander gets visited by the scientists and the other military people that want to go do this thing to the alien plant. And they tell him, hey, we're going to fix the problem. And he says, you can't fix the problem, because if you fix the problem, what did we build the domes for? And so the military are like, okay, we're going to do this thing, but there's a problem. If it rains, the alien plant is going to grow to a point where we can no longer control it. Like it's going to get out of hand. So we are going to try to inject generic material into the plant's pastille, but if we can't do it in an hour, it's going to rain. So we have 1 hour to do it. Otherwise, we have to nuke the entire city. And so the movie makes this very, very big deal with, like, there's how many people? It's like there's 500,000 people in the city, which, by the way, is like, my city has like 4 million people. 500,000 people in a city is not that much. Now, I'm not saying kill them. I'm just saying this is not a big city, right? My city has like 4 million people. So 500,000 people, not that big a city. Anyway, so Sneeze Face military commander is like, you guys have 1 hour to do this. Otherwise, I'm gonna nuke the city. So, military people fly out to go inject generic material into the giant murder plant. And Sneeze Face military commander, from his desk, makes the robots in the ship kill everybody so that it looks that the mission failed, and he can bomb the area, so he gets to keep his giant domes that apparently he made or something. And so he does that. And the ship falls. But of course, the main character survives. And when he lands next to a hospital, where he goes into the hospital, and of course, he finds a little girl survivor, with the weirdest wig you can imagine. Because she has bangs that start okay. When you're bald, it's very difficult to criticize people's hair. Because when you are bald and you criticize people's hair, people always say, you're just criticizing because you have envy, because you have no hair. So before I criticize this little girl's hair, I want to say that this is not the case. Okay? I am bald, but it shouldn't matter. This little girl had a horrible wig. And what it was, it's this gigantic wig of just dry straw hair with bangs that start from like way back here. So the little girl's bangs start like way back here and go all the way to the front. And then there's like a bunch of hair coming out the side. It's like the weirdest wig I've ever seen. So, military guy rescues little girl with weird bangs. And I forgot to say this, but you can probably figure it out because it's like the most cliche thing ever. Of course, the main character used to have a daughter that died. Of course he did. Why wouldn't he? So, when he encounters little girl with horrible wig, it reminds him of his daughter, and he basically, for about a third of the movie, forgets that he is on a mission to save 500,000 people. And almost abandons the mission because this little girl is in shock and doesn't want to move from where she is. There's this one scene that was making me super angry. And you can ask Pew because she was sitting next to me or laughing her head off at me. Because the guy takes the little girl and puts her in like the army vehicle that he's moving around in. And he arrives to where he's gonna supposedly go find whatever it is that he needs to find. And he's gonna leave the military vehicle to go do that. And he tells the little girl, okay, you wait for me in here. And the little girl goes, I don't want you to leave me. And the guy just stays. He says, okay, I'm not gonna leave you. I'm like, dude, the mission. No, he just stays there with the girl. He decides that he's not gonna leave, that he's just gonna stay with the girl because the girl doesn't want him to leave. With 500,000 lives hanging in the balance. So, eventually, they make it to where they need to go, and then come robots, and they have to fight the robots, and then there's a giant like tank robot, and they have to fight the giant tank robot, and then they finally manage to inject the pastille, and now the plant doesn't want to kill people, but the colonel wants to nuke them anyway, and you can pretty much predict how this goes. They discover the colonel decides like, oh, I didn't want to waste all the money on the giant dome, so the colonel kills himself. Wait, no, he's a general, not a colonel. He's a general. Just insane movie all the way. But here's the thing. It looks awesome. It looks so cool. Like the movie just looks amazing. It really, really looks very, very cool. And that's the thing with these Asian sci-fi movies. They just look amazing. And they just do things that no other sci-fi movie will do. And so the other Asian sci-fi film that we watched this weekend was called Jung-gi. And the thing is, the way they wrote it on Netflix looks like it's called Jungle, but it's not. It's Jung_E. And this one is not Chinese. This one is Korean. But again, they do what Western sci-fi movies will not dare to do. And in this one, it's about... Okay, here we go. So, in the future, the Earth is no longer habitable. So, humanity decides to build space colonies in between the Earth and the Moon. And after they've built a few of them, those Earth colonies between the Earth and the Moon declare war on the Earth. So now we have... And they make robots. And so now there is like a robot people war between the Earth colonies that are called Adrian and Earth, where people stayed, although they were not supposed to be able to stay on Earth. That's why we built the colonies, but they're staying. So, at one point, a hero of this war, and her name is something. Oh, no, wait. Jung-E. Yeah, I mean, it's the name of the movie. Okay, there we go. So war hero Jung-E dies in the war. No, she didn't die. She got injured in the war, and now she's in a coma. And so her daughter grows up to be a scientist, but, sci-fi scientists are always, like, basically robot technician and programmers. So her daughter grows up, and they use a brain scan of her mother to create an AI to go in a robot and go win the war for them against the robots of the Adrian colonies that are at war with Earth. And so her mother had signed a contract where she was a Type C. And what is a Type C, you ask? Oh, I'm glad you asked. You see, in this future, when you die, you can be Type A, Type B, or Type C. So if you're Type A, your brain gets scanned and put into a robot body, and you have all the rights and privileges a normal citizen would have, except it's a brain scan of yours in a robot body. If you are Type B, I don't remember what Type B does. It's like that, but with... Oh, no, wait. Your brain gets scanned, and it's put into a robot body, but you do not have the rights and privileges of anybody else. And if you are Type C, your brain gets scanned, and the government can do whatever they want with it. So, war hero Jung-E is Type C, so they can do whatever they want with her brain scan. So they're using it to make an AI robot that is supposed to be able to go and win the war for them. And the whole movie, or at least like half of the movie, is them running this robot through a simulation of the moment that she got shot in the war. And the parameter to see if this AI robot is any good is if she can make it out of the situation where she got shot. But halfway through the movie, the institute that is doing this decides that they don't want to do it anymore because apparently they're going to sign a treaty that's going to end the war. So now what they're going to do with this robot is they're going to make her into a sex robot. So of course, the daughter that is running the whole experiment doesn't like that. So she decides to set her AI robot mother free. And so now it's an adventure of escaping the facility with her robot mother and fighting against the guy that was the director of the experiment, who turns out to also be a robot that is the AI copy of the brain scan of the founder of the institute, who is now an old man, who decided that he wanted to be type A, but when the moment came to transfer himself to the robot body, he was afraid to do it, so he just made a young copy of himself, but the young copy of himself is not aware that they are a robot. So, scientist daughter and robot mother escape the facility in a train, which, by the way, in this future, all the trains have only one wagon, or whatever it is you call them. Like one of those things. But anyway, they escape in a monorail, and the robot director that doesn't know that he is a robot director chases after them, ends up in the train with them, and gets shot. And when he gets shot, they shoot him in the face, and so it uncovers part of his robot face. And so he looks at himself in the window and realizes that he's a robot, and apparently just deals it with very well, because at that moment he just becomes super robot and goes into combat mode, which he did not know how to do at that point, up to that point. And so he fights robot mother, and eventually he gets killed, and scientist daughter convinces robot mother to run away because scientist daughter is dying anyway. And robot mother escapes into the wilderness. And that is the movie. that is Young E. It was not good. I guess it was not a good movie. No. I can't say, in all honesty, that it was a good... It wasn't. But, again, I love watching them. I haven't actually finished The Wandering Earth, the one where they just put a bunch of thrusters on the Earth to move it away from its orbit so we can escape the sun. I haven't finished watching The Wandering Earth, but I just can't help myself with these... I can't help myself... Yes, I do love them, Nat Class, and I just can't help myself with these Asian sci-fi movies because they are willing to go places, and it never I've never seen any of these movies work out to a point where you say, that was a good movie. No, that's never happened. But they are so refreshing compared to Western sci-fi, because they go places with it, right? Like they are very, very willing to try out things that you're never gonna see in a Western sci-fi film. They will take you places. They will take you very interesting places. And they have a very weird sense of humor. But that one I'll just give up to cultural differences, right? Like, okay, we're just not the same culture and whatever. But they do have a very weird sense of humor. The other thing we started watching was Kingdom. But Kingdom is legitimately awesome. Like, if anybody wants to watch a nice, well, no, okay, let's not go with nice. Nice is not the way to describe it. But if anybody wants to watch a good Korean zombie, a good Korean take, okay. I don't know what Koreans have with the zombies because there's Train to Busan, All of Us Are Dead. I forgot the name of the other one. Like, there's a lot. I don't know why Koreans make so many zombie related things, but damn it, they really get zombies, which is a weird thing to say, but they really get zombies. Um, and if you want to watch a good zombie thing that is different, like a very very different take on zombies, Kingdom is so good. Like we are really. I mean, okay, I won't speak for Pew, but I am really into Kingdom. I really really am enjoying it. I think Pew is as well, but I'm not going to speak for her. She can speak for herself. But damn, that is good. Oh yeah, the new episode of Physical 100 came out today. That's definitely something to watch tomorrow for us. And and the thing about Kingdom is that it is okay. I love the series. It is a very very interesting, unique take on the zombie genre. But first of all, I think we can all agree that throughout history, humanity has seen its fair share of silly hats. Holy crap, the Western world has nothing on, like, if the hats that they, because by the way, Kingdom is a historical is Kingdom is an ancient Korea, right? It's not like which again, very 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 refreshing take on the zombie genre. It's not like modern day post-apocalypse zombies. No, it's in ancient Korea. I don't really know what year exactly. Maybe somebody here can tell me. Uh, but Western historical silly hats have nothing on Korean historical silly hats. Like, just not even close. Not even close. Korean historical silly hats are way sillier than Western silly hats. Just any day. Just absolutely. And the thing is that everybody in that series wears a silly hat. It's just silly hat the series, but I love it. It's really really good. It's a really really good series. So I highly recommend Kingdom. Such a refreshing take on the zombie genre. So different. Um, so if you are into silly hats, I would recommend Kingdom. Or if you're into zombies, I mean, I wouldn't want Kingdom just for the silly hats, but they are quite silly. So you can probably, like, I mean, if you're into zombies, definitely watch Kingdom. But if you're not into zombies, but you're into silly hats, then maybe Kingdom is also for you. And the other thing we've been watching, and I know it sounds like we just spent like an entire week watching stuff. That's not the case. I just haven't reported my watching stuff to you guys in a while. So the other thing we have watched recently, and has anybody been watching The Last of Us? Because I really want to talk about it. It is. Has anybody been watching The Last of Us? It is. It is so good. I really, really want to talk about it. Ah, okay. Mao has been watching it. Well, I mean, oh, episode 3 made you cry? Uh, okay. So this is actually something we can talk about because it's not a spoiler for anybody. Um, okay. So, discussion. Chat room discussion. Why do you think in the series they changed? Because me and you have had this conversation. We've had this discussion. Why do you think this series decided to change the contagion of these the fungal contagion in the series is through bites, and in the video game is through spores. Now, why do you think they made that change? Because that's like one of the only things I do not like of the series. And of course, I have my theories as to why that change was done, but I'm curious why others think that change was done. Because spores aren't containable like they are in the game. The game took scientific liberties. Interesting. So you think that they changed to bites for reasons that had to do with the plausibility of it all? Huh. That's interesting. No, Mao. It's the opposite. In the video game, the infection spreads through spores in the air, and if you breathe it, you get infected. But in the TV series, they switched it to just being bit like with any other zombie. Huh. Interesting theories, though. Oh, wow. I have to admit, my theory as to why they did that is way less interesting than your guys's. Your theories. My theory is they did it so we can see their faces. that's that's it. That's my theory. My theory is They made it bites instead of spores because with spores they have to wear masks, and they want us to be able to see their faces. But you guys have way more interesting theories. Oh. Oh, okay. So yours is not a theory. Yours is what the director said. Oh, well, that brings this whole discussion to an end. You, we haven't watched that. Or did you watch it? We're gonna have to watch that. Oh, I don't know anything about fungi other than they are delicious. I think that's how I would stop the the fungi pandemic in The Last of Us. Like okay, we're all getting invaded by a bunch of fungi, but they're delicious. So what if we eat the zombies first? I know it wouldn't work, but still, maybe we can eat the zombies first. Look, we'll all just make a lot of pasta, and um, we make a lot of pasta, and a lot of sauce, and we surround the city with pasta and sauce. And so when the clickers fall into the pasta and sauce, and we heat it from underneath. And so when the clickers fall into the pasta and sauce, we get fettuccine and fungi. Hello, Mr. Fox. Now, does that not sound like the most delicious apocalypse ever? Is that not the most delicious apocalypse? And we just get a bunch of chefs become the new warriors of humanity. And we just later on people can talk about it like, oh, did you live through the 2003 apocalypse? And yeah, it was delicious. It was delicious. The apocalypse was delicious. I think that's how I would solve the issue. That would be my proposal. Or yeah, I mean, you don't have to eat all of it, Mao. What's wrong with you? That is the one thing in Kingdom that like Pew and me we have not been able to deal with. And it's that the people in that series refuse to burn the dead. Now I don't know. I'm guessing it's something about Korean culture that we are not that we don't know about. But like because so the thing about the zombies in Kingdom is that it's something very interesting, and it's that the zombies in Kingdom uh they deactivate during the day. So during the day, like as soon as the sun comes out, the zombies all run away and hide, like in the shade, and they kind of deactivate. And during the day, you can actually go grab the zombies, move them around. They will not like wake up. They need darkness to like be active. So during the day, they don't do anything. Like they don't attack you. And but the thing is, again, because of some cultural thing that we are not aware of, or at least Pew and me were not aware of, these people refuse to burn the zombies. Like they just do not want to burn the zombies. So the zombies go hide during the day. They know where the zombies are, but they don't do anything about it. Okay, Mao, see you Friday. And at one point, one of the characters that has like authority in that world, he says, "Okay, we're gonna burn everybody," and people are like, "No, no, we cannot." It's, okay, but maybe I'm missing something here. I don't know why these people are so reluctant to burn the flesh eating zombies, but they really will. Like, they would rather just everybody die than burn these zombies. And I don't know. I mean, I was hoping one of you guys knew why. Oh, the question, Sabrina, was why are the Korean people in the in the zombie series Kingdom so reluctant to burn the dead? Because like if they were willing to burn them, that would solve the entire movie. Sorry, the entire series. Like the entire series would be would end in an episode if they were willing to burn the dead, but they are very unwilling to do it. So I don't know culturally what it is that they just don't want to burn the dead. But yeah, like if they were willing to burn the dead, that the series would be over. So I don't know if it's just like some conveniently placed limitation that they gave so that the series can actually happen, or if it's actually a cultural thing where they do not burn the dead. Okay, wait. So what I'm trying to do now is I'm trying to make it so that we can have some debris just flying around. Hmm. I don't know. I mean, maybe the thing is, if they did it just so that the series can happen, that's like, it's kind of disappointing. You know, a very kind of lazy solution. Okay. How am I liking the work these days? Am I liking the projects you're doing? I've been having a lot of fun with Mongoose. I've been sorry. I was checking out that YouTube is saying that you guys might be experiencing buffering. So I don't know if that's true. Uh, I've been liking a lot the images I've had to work with Mongoose because they've been very different from the normal sci-fi stuff I would normally make with Mongoose. Not that I don't like the normal sci-fi stuff I normally do with Mongoose, but but it is very, very interesting to kind of get these very, very different it's kind of very, very zombie like and all that kind of stuff, very organic kind of stuff and all that. So that's been a lot of fun, right? Like it's been very, very fun to to make these images, like of what I'm doing right here. These monsters and stuff like that. So I've been enjoying that very, very much. Um, uh, with some of my other clients, uh, again, very, very enjoyable stuff. I've been having a lot of fun with the book covers that I'm working for Pilgrims with Blades, and the work I'm doing with Chaosium has been very interesting because it's been very different. So, for example, one thing I got requested to do for RuneQuest, which is one of the games I'm working on with Chaosium, is uh, like an image of some farmers and stuff like that. And so it's very, very interesting because it's very much outside of what I would normally do, but I like that challenge. It's been a lot of fun to take on those challenges of like, yeah, it's just an image of some farmers. And for example, one thing that they requested was like, yeah, no, it's just an image of a Viking ship, but not anything weird or no, it's just a Viking ship. The end. Um, so that is a lot of fun to work on because you kind of have to really, really get yourself out of the comfort zone and sort of, oh yeah, it's just an image of some farmers, not magic farmers, not no, just some farmers. So that kind of stuff has been very, very interesting and all that. And there's also another project that I've been working on, but unfortunately that one has huge NDAs, so I can't really talk about it. Um, but I have been working with, I guess what I can say about those is that I had been working with some license stuff um, with another company, and that's been a very, very different type of challenge. Um, because that requires uh, studio approvals and stuff like that. It's very, very interesting. It's very, very different from from the way I normally work because now you have to wait for the studio to see what you did and if they approve it and stuff like that. So that's pretty cool. Um, that's been very, very enjoyable as well, but in a very different way. Um, the one thing these days that has been kind of like, oh well, that's not is that I really, really want to be able to make other content, stuff for the YouTube channel and stuff for the Patreon, but um, you know, client work comes first. So I've kind of been trying to find that balance. And this semester, I know you guys are tired of hearing me say this. I know Pew is tired of hearing me say this. Um, but this semester, I am really, really, really feeling uh, the time that the university takes away from me. I'm really feeling that this semester. It is um so I'm really, really feeling that, like the whole having to spend a big chunk of my week at the university. I'm really feeling that this semester. um so so yeah. Am I going to keep doing the D&D stuff on Patreon? Yes, I actually have to make a post about that on Patreon, but I am going to change my plans a little bit because I think that while Okay, so for those of you that are unaware, or that maybe have not been following what has been happening with D&D, and after the whole OGL thing that we spoke about a couple of weeks ago, Wizards of the Coast decided to walk back on that whole OGL situation, and decided, okay, you know what, you guys hate it so much that we're gonna keep the original OGL, the end. So no. So basically, what Wizard of the Coast announced a few days ago is that none of that is going to happen anymore. That they're going to keep the old OGL, because what happened was that they made like some. Okay, so when Wizards decided that they were going to get rid of the old OGL, people made such a huge stink about it that they said, okay, you know what we're gonna do? We're gonna do surveys, right? We're gonna do surveys and see what you guys want. And so they did surveys, and hey, to their credit, they actually published the results of the survey, and it was amazing because everybody in the survey was basically just saying, this sucks, nobody wants this. Like, yeah, we don't want this. Why are you doing this? So, Wizard of the Coast basically decided, okay, we're not doing it then. And they just canceled the whole thing and decided, okay, we're keeping the original open gaming license, and that's the end of that. And yes, it is great news, and it is awesome. But I think that it is important that we learn our lesson. And I do think that in many ways, the community that was using OGL did learn the lesson. And I do think it's very important that we learn the lesson that we cannot allow the entire, well, okay, not the entire, but we cannot allow such a huge part of the role-playing game community to be dependent on Wizards of the Coast. Like we can't let that happen again. Right? We have to make sure that this doesn't happen again, and one of the ways we make sure that this doesn't happen again is by not letting ourselves go back to the way it was, right? So what I'm gonna do, at least from what I do, is, well, I'm gonna make my Patreon role-playing game stuff platform independent. So basically, well, what I wanted to do in the first place was make NPCs and items and maps and stuff like that. But what I'm gonna do is continue making that, just not make it for any specific game. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make NPCs, give them stories and backgrounds and stuff like that, but leave the specifics of like the numbers to you guys. So look, here's this character. This is his story. This is what they do. This is their description. This is kind of what they got. But the numbers are up to you. Because that way you can play it on any game you want, right? That way you don't have to, it doesn't have to be D&D. That way it can be any game that you want to play it in, right? So that is my plan moving forward. But I do have to make a post on Patreon, and thank you for reminding me about it in that class because it's a little easy for me to forget those things. And I think I'm gonna do it as soon as the stream is over, like tonight. Because the thing is, since I just bought a motorcycle, um, right now it's like in terms of like, oh, okay, I have to really kind of basically I have to focus on the work that pays the bills, right? Um so I'm trying to kind of balance those things. Find that balance where I can create that kind of content and balance it out with the work that I do that pays the bills, like what I'm doing right now. Um, so because eventually that work might pay the bills, right? Uh, um, but not yet, right? So I need to find that balance where I can do stuff for that, but also I am streaming for 45 more minutes. So I'm pretty sure whatever question you have, you can. Oh! Wow. The studio crashed. Okay, let's see how much work we lost. Uh no. Right now it's 4:15 here. I stream until 5. Where is the Okay, not that much. Actually, I was about to start organizing layers so we can start adding color. How do you think you go about finding that balance? Because I've seen with a lot of my contemporaries, it's way too easy to just keep doing the work that pays. Okay. Um well, uh I think one of the first things that oh wait, okay, wait. There was more. Okay. And never pivoting to the work that they want. But you have to start doing the work that you want so you can build it up something that pays. You know what I mean? Well, yes, I do know what you mean. I will add before I say anything, I will absolutely make the clarification that um, I do not consider myself to have um like fully accomplished this balance, if you know what I mean. Um in the sense that like well, I work as a freelancer, right? I work as a freelancer and I've done this transition several times in my life, but I'm currently trying to do it again. Uh, so I can tell you my experience from when I've done this before and what I'm trying to do right now, but I can tell you right off the bat that it's not something that always works, and that one of the things that I would say is most important about any of these things before I say them is this frequently this fails a lot. So before you even try any of the things that I'm going to say, keep in mind that you have to be willing to fail a lot with this, because a lot of this that I'm going to say just it just doesn't work a lot of the time. So all that being said, the first thing I would say is you have to make your peace with the fact that there is risk. And I know that right off the bat, starting with that is like, well, I mean, okay, that simple? But yes, I actually said this to my students this very week, and it's the idea of I compare it to the idea of wanting to be a boxer but not wanting to get hit. Like, if you have this idea of work that you want to do, and like basically this whole idea that we're trying to build here, there is risk, right? There is risk involved, and there's just no way to do it without risk. Just like, my idea of boxing, right? Like, if you want to be a boxer, you have to be willing to take a punch. If you want to do this kind of thing, if you want to do this kind of pivot with your career and change what it is you do and all that kind of stuff, you have to understand that it's going to be a risk, and that's it. That, like, there's no getting around that part. Now, that being said, okay. The way, for example, I can tell you the plan that I have right now. So, first of all, you need to differentiate what is actually up to you and what isn't. So, for example, I have a contract with the university. At least until May, I have to fulfill that contract. So Monday, Wednesdays, and Thursdays, I have to teach those classes on a schedule, and there is nothing I can do about it. Like, that is just what it is. I have to teach that class. I sign the contract. End of story. So that is not negotiable. I have to do it. So, the other one is that you have to identify what is holding you back, which in my case is actually the university. The university is holding me back. But at least during the semester, there's nothing I can do about it. Sure enough, there comes a moment during the semester where I have my window to get out of the university. But if I don't take that window, that's it, So you have to identify what is not under your control, because no matter what kind of solution I find in terms of time, I know that Mondays and Thursdays and Wednesdays, there's an amount of time that I don't count on, right? Monday morning, I have to be at the university. End of story. So that, to build a schedule, you have to start like laying down, okay, this is what I'm going to be doing at this moment. This is what I'm going to be doing at this moment, and stuff like that. So you have to know what are your obligations. After that, honestly, it's about squeezing out that extra little bit of time and maintaining balance. So I think one of the other things that would help in that kind of situation is understanding that you can't just do the entire shift at once. Again, I'll explain with what I'm doing right now. So I got this situation where I teach class at the university, I do freelance work for RPGs, and I have my own projects that I want to do, like the YouTube channel and the Patreon. So I have to understand that I can't just pump out a video right now and make Patreon content right now and do everything and fulfill all my obligations. No. So what do? I have to start small. And right now, my idea is okay, I'm going to see if I can make it so that Fridays, I can make it about personal art, which I can put on the Patreon. So all the other days I work on, at the university and with my freelance with RPGs, but I'm going to see if Fridays I can make it about personal art to put on the Patreon. Just Fridays. Just Fridays. And oh, there's a little teeny tiny moth here. Okay. Okay. So we start with that. Like, okay, we're gonna start with just Fridays. Let's see if I can manage Fridays. And I have oh, Sabrina, that's so flattering. Thank you. So I have tried that shift to a day of the week to work on only personal stuff. I've tried that several weeks already. Like, this is not like a new plan, but I'm gonna try it this Friday. So here's the other thing that becomes very, very important. Something has to be sacrificed, and you just have to make your peace with that. Now, of course, I would never advocate for unhealthy sacrifice of time and stuff like that. Let's not do that. Let's not go there. But something will have to be sacrificed. So it is important to look at the things you're doing and figure out, okay, which one of these things can be sacrificed? Which one of these things can I, which one of these things can I get rid of? And also, it has to be a gradual shift, right? So it can't be like, okay, this is my obligation work, this is my personal project. So right now it's sorry, wait, I shouldn't do this looking at the camera. I should just, okay, this is my obligation work, this is my personal project. So right now it's this. I can't expect to just do this right away. It has to be gradual. It has to just start moving, right? A little bit less obligation work, a little bit personal project. I'm thinking of my art accountability partner. She fills up all her spare time with design client work. She does not like doing design, and she never has energy to, I'm going to guess that you're going to write next, work on the personal project. Set up her illustration structure, the thing she wants to do more. Yes, exactly. So, okay. The thing with that is that, well, okay. So one of the things that is very important for us as artists to acknowledge, recognize, make our peace with, call it whatever you want, is the idea that we are human. We have bodies. I guess let's call it. Yeah. We are human. We have bodies, and like we're not machines, right? So, for example, one of the things that I've kind of learned through experience working the way I do is that exceeding myself with work will make it, but basically that I have a finite amount of energy that I can use throughout the day or the week or whatever amount of time. So, for example, if I decide that I'm going to work until late today, I know that tomorrow I'm not going to work as well as I did today. Right? So if I decide that today I'm going to work until a very late hour, I know tomorrow I'm not going to be as productive. It's just the way it goes. So it's important to understand your own limitations, and I think the way we do that is by actually, I think, by playing around with it a little bit, and so we have to be willing to kind of, I don't know, science it or something like that. So for example, and we've spoken about this here before. It's just that, you know, a lot of times people don't like hearing this, but it's important to figure out how we function and how we work. And so, for example, one of the things that we have to figure out with that is, okay, what are your most productive hours of the day, right? So, okay. So, experiment with those, right? Because it does have to become sort of we do have to kind of get very into the idea of productiveness. So, for example, and this, for example, relates a little bit to what Sabrina was saying a minute ago, which is like, for example, studying, right? So studying isn't just studying art stuff. For example, one of the things that in this house, you know, Pew and myself, that we watch a lot of is content regarding productivity. So you know, we became very, very like we became like amateur productivity experts, to you know, to say it that way. And we watch a lot of content, and we consume a lot of content that has to do with productivity, right? So it's this idea that, like, we kind of always think that we know how to be productive and that we know how to do these things. And so a lot of times we make these very, very basic productivity mistakes, and hey, other people have solved this, so why don't we just see what other people have to say about it, right? See what other people have to say when it comes to productivity and all that kind of stuff, and figure it out, right? And so, and that requires that we are willing to consider maybe some solutions that we weren't willing to consider before. So we've like had the conversation about waking up early before. Waking up early doesn't work for everybody, but for example, in that case, in that very specific case, have you tried it? Like, you know, I will not accept anybody saying that waking up early doesn't work for them if they haven't actually tried it. Like, you know, and when I say have you tried it, I mean, have you actually given it a shot? Not just, oh, I woke up early once, didn't like it, and never did it again. No, like, have you actually gone to bed early, slept well, woken up, and done that for a couple of weeks so your body can get used to it, and seen if that makes you more productive? Because that's the thing. And it's not just, that's not just the only possibility. Like, okay, have you tried the opposite? Have you tried working? You know, it's experimenting with productivity to see where the results are. And a lot of people will argue against these things because a lot of people just don't want to even consider the possibility that maybe they're going to have to change something about how they work and how they function and all that kind of stuff. A lot of people just don't want to even consider the possibility. But you have to. So I remember this one kind of motivational video that I saw once, and I'm kind of quoting it here, but the guy was saying something like, "What do you want more?" But what he was saying basically is that a lot of time we don't succeed because we don't want to succeed more than we want to sleep. Now, I'm not into that because everybody needs to sleep, right? So we're not going to promote not sleeping. We're not going to do that. But I will say I met a lot of people that don't want to be successful more than they want to stay up late, for example. And in that case, I don't think it's, because we've all kind of heard like all the criticisms to hustle culture and all that kind of stuff. And yes, hustle culture is harmful and all that kind of stuff. But I have met a lot of people that like, oh, wait, you want to stay up late at night more than you want to be successful. Because when you tell people like, hey, how about you get up early? And like, I'm not telling you not to sleep. I'm not telling you not to get rest. I'm not telling you to work so much that you get sick. I'm just telling you, how about if you don't stay up so late? So you can wake up a little bit earlier and be more productive. And a lot of people just, yeah, you come to the realization that a lot of people would rather stay up late than be successful. I don't know what it is that they're doing at that hour, right? That that staying up late is so important. But yeah, I've seen it happen, and I've seen it happen a lot. Um, so 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 basically, to bring this all back to the whole idea of working on our own projects and stuff like that and making time for it. A lot of times you'll find that in order to to continue fulfilling your obligations and be able to find that extra time to work on your personal projects, a lot of times what you're going to have to do is make extra time in the day. And a lot of times that's going to involve considering the possibility that, hey, maybe if you went to bed a little bit earlier, you'd be able to work on those personal projects early in the morning. So one of the things that works for me a lot, and again, let's not take this exactly by the time I say I do it, but just the basic principle of how it works for me is yes, Nat class. And I think that the word, I oddly enough, I think that the most important, wait, I'll just read what you're saying in case anybody can't read it. So is the synthesis, you have to be really disciplined to use the extra time that you have for where you want to go so that it can eventually build to replace what you don't want. Yes, but I think that one of the most important words in there is the word eventually. As in slowly. As in, yeah, this is not gonna be something you do in a week. This is gonna be something you slowly build towards. This is not gonna happen quickly. This is gonna take time, and you just have to be okay with that. You just have to be okay with the fact that that the key word in all of that is the word eventually. Uh, The other thing I would say, my accountability partner won't be able to make money from her shop if she never opens it. Uh, I think one of the key things um, is also a little bit of flexibility. Um, in the sense of I don't remember who it is that I heard this from, so I can't really quote who it was. But one time I remember hearing that one of the biggest problems that we have a lot of times with our goals is that we fall in love with our goals. And we fall in love so much with our goals that we sometimes get new and exciting opportunities that might not necessarily go exactly with our goals, but we will reject those opportunities simply because they are not exactly what we wanted in the beginning. And so, while I am a huge advocate of never give up, I do think it's important to remain adaptable and be willing to sometimes say, okay, this isn't exactly what I wanted at the beginning, but maybe things have changed. And maybe um, I can I can want other things as well. And maybe what I wanted in the beginning isn't exactly what I would want right now. Right. So, not saying we should give up, but sometimes uh we can adapt and maybe end up wanting something different from what we wanted in the beginning. Um uh So, for example, right now, my plan is I know when I have to teach class. When I'm not teaching class, I'm working on freelance for RPGs. I work on personal stuff on Fridays. And during the weekends, I try to make something for YouTube on Sunday. And that is right now, like, my personal plan, right? Or so to speak. That is kind of what I how I'm planning to do things at the moment. Um, and this is basically like science. Let's be willing to you know switch and adapt if it doesn't work, and see what works, what doesn't, what do I keep, what do I get rid of, all those kind of things, to sort of slowly start finding what works and what doesn't. Very, very, very scientific. Very, very, very much kind of in the spirit of um, every single thing that we do is an experiment, and we are seeing what works and what doesn't. And that I do honestly believe that this kind of scientific approach to the whole thing, like, okay, we are here to experiment, we are here to do science, we are here to this kind of fascination with that aspect of it really helps in kind of figuring it out, because like the whole point here is, okay, what works, what doesn't, keep what works, get rid of what doesn't. Let's try out this other thing, see how it works. Oh, let's try out this other thing, see how it works. If we kind of become sort of fascinated with this idea of we are constantly sort of trying out methods and all that kind of stuff, um, it becomes, it becomes that. I will say this, although I know a lot of people don't like to hear this. I'm sorry, but I am a big believer in this. Um, and I know it doesn't sound very related to it, but hey, it's something that I will not change my mind about anytime soon. Um, Recommendation, almost like Uncle O giving you a recommendation. People, don't forget to exercise. And I know it sounds like I mean, we're here talking about how to do my side projects and stuff like that, and you're telling me don't forget to exercise. I've talked about this before. Um, not the benefits of exercise, but uh, I think regular exercise is one of the best ways, if not one of the most important ways, to prevent so many other problems. Uh, well, I'll give a little bit of tough to hear advice in a second. Um, but when it comes to exercise, I think that is tough to hear for a lot of people. And the thing is, if you don't exercise, so many other things fall apart. Like, so many things start collapsing if we stop exercising, if we stop taking care of that physical part, right? Because we need the body. We need the body to do what we need it to do. So if we stop exercising, it really, really just kind of all comes crumbling down, right? So I think it's very, very important to keep exercise. No, wait, I'm gonna put this up here. I think it's very important to always keep exercise. So that's one. That's one. And here would be the tough to hear advice. I don't think this is that tough for you, Nat Class, but this connects to something Sabrina was saying a minute ago, and it is none of this is any good if we don't have the skill to back it up, right? Like none of this advice, none of this I suppose one really, really cruel way to put it would be, it's no good to be productive if what you're producing is not good enough. So, everything we do should always be accompanied by the constant quest to improve at what we do. Right? Like that should always be there, because you can be the most productive person on the planet. And I've seen, and I say this because I've seen it happen so many times. So many people that just work and work and work and work and work and work and work, but what they're making is no good. And that's just sad. I mean, it's just sad. But you're not getting anywhere if you're super productive but you produce crap, right? But like you're not gonna get anywhere with that. So it is very, very important that in the work that we do and in the productivity that we do, there is always that space for improving at what we do and getting better at what we do. Um, we no matter what we do, we can always be better at it. And I am a huge believer of striving to always improve at our craft. Um, so I I want to make it very, very clear that it's very, very important to not confuse this with the reason I'm not successful is because I suck. That's a very, very different thing, and it's a very, very different sentiment, right? Like no, let's not fall into that trap. That the reason I'm not successful is because I suck. No, but um, if you do suck, it's not really helping your chances to be successful. I guess would be a way to say it, right? So let's not like uh, uh fall into the trap of believing that we suck, but at the same time, let's work on our skills enough so that we can be confident in them and that the problem is not our skills, if that makes any sense, right? I realize it's a delicate topic because it's very, very easy to fall into that trap of, oh, I'm not good enough, why even try? Um, I think the way to kind of um, see it is more like um, oh, I've actually told you guys about this phrase that I heard one time, which is we train, or have I not? Okay, anyway, there's this phrase that I heard one time, which is we train in times of peace so that war feels like rest, right? So if we study and practice regularly, once the time comes to do the actual thing that we want to do, skill will not be the issue, right? Like we won't, like we will know that, and insecurity will come anyway, right? Like nobody's gonna, like I'm not gonna tell you that you're not gonna doubt yourself. We all will doubt ourselves, right? But if we practice and study enough, then we can at least be confident that we've practiced and studied enough. I guess if that makes any sense. Um, it's a very fine line to find between uh, imposter syndrome and being realistic about what we do, and it's very easy to cross over, right? Like from one to the other. Oh well, well. Oh shit, that was 2 years ago already. Wow. Okay. Well, thank you for being a part of that in that class. That was It's funny. Pew was asking me just. I don't remember when that was. Maybe yesterday, maybe the day before. Pew was asking me if I was planning to do art mentorships again. Um, I I did enjoy them a lot. The couple that I gave to you and my um, they were a great experience. I enjoyed that experience so much, and thankfully both you and my were just amazing students in that regard. Um, I definitely want to do it again. I definitely want to do it again. I just right now I think that I want to sort of build the YouTube channel and the community and all that kind of stuff so that uh when the time comes to do the mentorships again, we have this it is much stronger and it you know it, so that we can ensure success, I guess would be the way to put it. Yeah. Rocks, rocks, rocks. Ah, me too. Me too, for real. It was it was a very, very, very uh um just today, just today I was talking to Pew about basically the I don't know if the education system is how we want to put this, but we were talking about how uh, there is just for people like me, um, there's just much more to be had in an online teaching than in the formal education system. Uh, to the point that it's like okay, we definitely need to start moving in that direction with my uh, work because formal education just really isn't working for me anymore. But I love teaching, so we can't get rid of that part of it. Too bright. Oh, this one is there we go. And then, what if we... Okay, which one is this one? Okay. What if we... which one is this one? Okay. Add that. I think what we're going to do with this one is duplicate this. Okay. No. Just a little bit here. A little bit there. A little bit there. Okay. Okay. It is 5 p.m. I'm So the time is 5 p.m. and it is time to cut it here. So today I was working. Oh man, Ow. Okay. Today I was working on an image for Traveler RPG of a creature called a hexapod bursting through a wall and like pushing around some cars and a vehicle and stuff like that. So very interesting image to work on. Also very challenging because the composition and the elements in the image are kind of difficult to keep track of. You got like the whole idea of bursting through the wall and a car getting pushed and all that kind of stuff. It's yes, Themin. I am just about to cut. I was just about to say what I was going to work on Friday, and Friday I hope to actually be finishing the cover for Pilgrims with Blades. I don't know if you saw what I did last Friday. If you did or if you didn't, I don't know. If you didn't, let me know and I'll show you right now. But so anyway, yeah, today we were working on this image. It's a very challenging image because it's very difficult to keep track of all the different elements in this image. You know, the car, the vehicle, the monster, the breaking through the wall, the debris, the lighting, all that kind of stuff. And one of the things that was very important in this image is that we have to get that sensation that it's a creature coming through the wall. So that was that is very challenging. I'm hoping that this kind of light coming in through the wall is getting that idea through. So I'm hoping that's working. Now next Friday, my plan is to finish the cover for Pilgrims with Blades, which I'm very confident we can do next Friday. So that's what we're going to be doing next Friday. And after that Friday, every Friday is going to be like I was just speaking with Matt Class and the rest of you. That after that, every Friday is going to be, and at least in my calendar, the idea of on Friday I work on stuff that is for the Patreon page, which I'm hoping to combine with the art challenge. So basically my idea will be that when I'm gonna work on stuff on Friday, beforehand I say what I'm gonna be working on, and so you guys can participate by making your own versions of it on Friday. So it's very experimental. I don't know if it's going to work out, but we'll have to see if it does. Now, all that being said, that's it. That's it for today. It's weird that it's Tuesday. I'm still not used to it. I still feel like it is Wednesday. It's weird that it's Tuesday, but here we are. Um, but that's it. So anyway, I really had a lot of fun this afternoon, uh, talking to you guys, discussing plans, discussing all that kind of stuff. It's funny because in that conversation with answering Nat Class's question, I also kind of organized a little bit of ideas in my head, which is probably why when I was talking about that, it sounded so messy, right? Because I was organizing in my head my own plans and my own thoughts and my own feelings on the issue. So that's probably why it felt so scatterbrained and so messy, because I was also organizing that at that moment. But that being said, long wait to see me again on Friday. Well, I don't like streaming on Tuesday, to be honest. I have to because Wednesday afternoons I have class, so I have to. But I can assure you that as soon as the semester is over in May, I am back to streaming on Wednesdays because it is weird to stream on Tuesday, or at least I would do Tuesday, Thursday, right? I would switch it to Tuesday, Thursdays, which I actually would prefer. But because I feel that a lot of people sometimes want to do other things on Friday. So I prefer Wednesday, Friday to Tuesday, Friday, but I prefer Tuesday, Thursday to the others, if that makes any sense, or if I just figured out the most complicated way to explain it, I suppose. That sounds like something I would do. In any case, that's going to be it for me today. Thank you, everybody, for hanging out. I hope you're enjoying this here on YouTube. Um, I don't really feel that much of a difference, other than the fact that I see different names in the chat room. But to me, it's very much the same as far as my experience goes. But I hope YouTube is working out for you guys. Like I explained before, this goes with my plan of making more stuff for YouTube, so that's why we are on YouTube and I'm staying here for a while. But all that being said, thank you so much, and let's do the whole goodbye thing. You have been watching the Ministry of Abnormality Twitch Live broadcast. No, not, damn it! And I just explained that I'm going to be doing it on YouTube. Okay. You have been watching the Ministry of Abnormality YouTube live broadcast. And I have been your host, O Abnormal, and today has been Tuesday, January 31st of 2023. Holy crap, is January a long month. It's finally over, but I didn't have a bad January, so I'm not complaining. But in any case, I will be back on Friday, February something, to finish the Program with Blades cover. So until then, I hope you have a very sexy Wednesday and Thursday. And I hope you will tell me all about it on Friday and join me again that day. And that's really all I have to say. So thank you everybody so much for watching. Good hunting. See you Friday, and good night. Stay naughty. I really need to organize my brain before I just talk in general. Oh boy. That's not gonna happen.